Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. So today, we have the physical Lord Slug. So, kind of like, Demon King Piccolo, how, he as an SSR is old Demon King Piccolo, and then as a TR is young Demon King Piccolo. We do have a similar instance with Slug. Now, as of right now, we don't actually have old Slug in Dokkan. He's not like an actual character we can pick. Eventually, we'll get him, right? But this Slug, he starts out as just Lord Slug, young version of Lord Slug, and then when he Dokkan Awakens, he becomes Lord Slug Giant, right? So I do think eventually we could maybe get like a transforming Lord Slug, probably old to young, like he would have maybe an active skill where he collects the Dragon Balls and becomes young, something like that. I think would be very cool. I'd totally be down with that as like a DOKKANFEST. And then maybe like a dual DOKKANFEST, and maybe the other one would be full Super Saiyan Goku. I think that would actually be fantastic. But right now, I am going to rainbow this Slug just as a buff for the Namekian category team. There is one other, young Lord Slug in the game that's not like the giant one, and that's the tech free-to-play one. But obviously, this physical one is a lot better than him, so I decided to rainbow this one rather than the tech free-to-play one, right? So let's go ahead and see how good this Lord Slug is in a couple of events. Alright guys, so January is going to be a pretty dead month here on Dokkan. So this is a perfect opportunity for me to kind of use this opportunity to go back and do these videos for a lot of these units I've previously rainbowed, right? This Lord Slug I rainbowed, I believe, back in August. Just before the 300 million download celebration. Now here we are in January, and I actually was able to use him to beat the Legendary Goku event with only the Namekian category team. A very difficult challenge run, but I was able to get it done. Okay, so 800k right there, just a shade under 900k is not bad, actually, because now he gets his attack buff right there. Boom. So now he's going to get an extra 40% attack for 5 turns after he gets hit. So next turn, he's going to be well over 1 million. Again, he's nothing crazy, but the Namekian team is so damn limited, so just not insane at all, right? It's just there's so few characters that kind of I don't know, a mid-tier character like this, just an SSR version of a TUR, you can actually use. This Lord Slug, just Lord Slug, I think easily could be a Dokkan Festival exclusive at some point in the future. We still don't have old Lord Slug, which I talked about in the first part of this video, which again I recorded 5 months ago. But that's the type of things that could be added into Dokkan. There's still so many characters that Dokkan has not yet done proper versions of. Seriously, Dokkan, there's just no end in sight for it. As long as they continue to improve things, I mean, 5-year anniversary, looks like the equipment system is going to be added into Dokkan for the 5-year anniversary. There's just so much that Dokkan has done right lately that it honestly, I just feel like they have extended the shelf life for this game. I just don't see it ending anytime soon with how well they've done. Okay, so I don't think either Golden Cooler or Int Metal Cooler, neither of them actually have big bad bosses, which is unfortunate. I think, by the way, that Lord Slug's best attack stat is going to be on the Secrets of the Dragon Ball team. I'm not really too too gung-ho about going for best attack stats anymore. I really feel like, I don't know, I do use a lot of supports in a lot of these videos. What is he at right here? He gets up to 1.35, not bad. I do use a lot of supports, but typically the supports I'm using, depending upon the team, I do want to kind of show what the unit is capable of, right? with LRB Pan or something like that. But we're on the Movie Boss / Full Power team right here, running both Golden Cooler, Turles and Int Metal Cooler. Yeah, those are supports, but they're so powerful that you would run them on the team naturally anyway, right? It's not like I'm weakening our team dramatically just to get a bunch of support type units on here for Lord Slug. Okay, this is going to be a ridiculously long turn to go through, so I'm actually going to go ahead and I think move on to our next team at this point. We can get Frieza super attack right there. Yeah, we're probably also going to take a little bit of damage from this cooler, but okay. So I'm going to go ahead and skip. We'll come back. I do want to look at this Lord Slug on, again, a couple of his different teams. We probably won't look at him on the Namekian team here today, even though that's the one area where he could be usable, because I did just make use of this guy in our Legendary Goku event run, right, through with the Namekian category team, where this Lord Slug was useful because he is a physical type unit. So, okay, next we'll probably go to, I guess, the Conquest of Terra team, the STR Cooler team. Alright guys, so now we are back. This time we are on the Conquest of Terra team / Transformation Boost team, led by our boy STR Cooler, of course, the dirty boy. Okay, so we're gonna lose out. What link is that he's getting from Baby? I guess that's Thirst for Conquest. This is actually a pretty good team, so I think I will float Kid Buu off right here, get Thirst for Conquest, but I also want Slug to be in that first slot so that he can activate his passive. Again, this should be pretty good right here. This will push him definitely over 1 million with the 50% from Kid Buu, plus his attack buff, plus Thirst for Conquest. Yeah, 1.24. So again, like, you know, he's not anything super crazy, but for the highly limited Namekian category team, I mean, he is, like, you know, enough to get the job done. Again, you don't have a ton of options to work with for the Namekian category team. So something like the SSR of a TUR, like, you know, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, it's really just that simple. Like that's it. So, you know, I did rainbow this SSR Lord Slug. Obviously, I rainbowed the SSR for old Demon King Piccolo as well, but in reality, Demon King Piccolo and Lord Slug are two characters that Dokkan does need to greatly improve upon, because especially, not really Lord Slug so much, right? He's kind of like a mediocre or trash villain from a movie, right? Like, he's not any, like, he's literally just Demon King Piccolo again, like, in movie form. That's it. Like, that's all he is. The only difference is that Demon King Piccolo does not go giant. It's Majunior who goes giant, right? But they kind of took, like, elements of both the Demon King Piccolo saga and then the 23rd World Tournament and kind of combined them for the Lord Slug movie. By the way, like, I really think, like, that idea of, like, an old Lord Slug that transforms into young would be a fantastic idea. And then maybe his active skill, he could go giant or something like that. Like, I think that would be really, really cool, right? And then there's also, like, you know, we could have a dual Dokkan Fest where we had the full Super Saiyan Goku. Like, I don't know what they would call it, or like, you know, if they would just call it Goku, but, like, make that a card. Like, obviously that needs to be a card. Like, people would definitely summon for that. And especially if they gave him a new name, I don't know, like Goku Rage or whatever. I have no idea what they would call him, really. I don't think they would actually call him, like, Goku Full Super Saiyan, but, like, that's the most memorable part about that movie. Like, Lord Slug himself, guess what? Ain't that memorable, right? But, you know, there's all these different variants of Lord Slug that they really should add into the game, and the Namekian category honestly needs it really bad. You know, because I'm pretty sure for all the movies, they are eventually going to go through and give us not only a Dokkan Fest event, but also a story event, right? So the Slug, we have the story event, but we don't have a Dokkan Fest event. Same with, like, the BoJack movie. We got the story event, but we don't have the Dokkan Festival event. You know, look, like Android 13, that movie, finally we got both. We actually don't have a story event for the Janemba and Gogeta movie, so I don't know, you know, if they're going to do, like, an LR Janemba in the future and release that movie as a story event or what, but eventually I think all the movies are going to get both Dokkan events and story events, so, you know, we'll kind of see how it's going to work out, right? Okay, so now let's go ahead and go over to the Seekers of the Dragon Ball team. That's probably where we'll be able to get Slug's best attack stat. Alright guys, so now we're on the Seekers of the Dragon Ball team. We'll probably get, like, a turn here with LRB Pan using her active skill, and then maybe see, like, one more turn of Slug. This did turn out pretty good, because, you know, last turn, I had this Pan super attack, right? I have to not forget about this Pan for some of these teams, man, because when Pan super attacks, she gives a 2-turn 25% attack buff, so, you know, she's going to constantly be raising the attack stats of a lot of these units for multiple turns. So we... Oh, no, we don't... No! Where did my... Oh, the Namekian link! Oh, my goodness, no! The Namekian link, no! The Namekian link is taking away Big Bad Bosses. No. No, 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 no. Okay, I might actually have to do this a couple times then. Oh... The Namekian link. We need Goku to super attack right away, because I have to have Slug linked up with himself, because that's going to get us Nightmare, Metamorphosis, you know, Thirst for Conquest, Big Bad Boss, like all these links and stuff. Yeah, they have Metamorphosis and Namekian. They have so much healing from links. Goku has to super attack right away, or we won't have Big Bad Bosses active. Please, super. Oh, we have it anyway. We have it. 1.75 with Big Bad Bosses. Whew. Oh, okay. Slug was taking enough damage right there, because he's only got 70% from defense is all he gets at the start of turn. I actually haven't looked at what his defensive stat is, have I? Let me take a look at that next turn. This pan, again, the supports, the 50% support type units, like, I don't know. They decided to make them, like, crazy. It's like, the type banners already were incredibly enticing to summon on, and then they're just like, you know what? Here, we'll just make the 50% supports just, like, way, way too good. Let me know how y'all feel about this. And it's like, yo! Because, like, you know, like, the Kid Gohan who, like, stacks attack and defense for, like, 9 turns, it's like, bro, like, it's like by, like, 30%. It's like a massive number. It's like, these aren't, like, small buffs they get either. It's, like, a really huge deal. Like, the 50% to the same type, like, it's crazy, man. It's honestly crazy. And then, like, Slug, right? So Slug, his 50% support type unit is going to be Boo. And Boo is, you know, could get his soon. Boo and Gohan, I think, you know, as part of, like, the Boo Saga celebration, could definitely happen. So, like, that's going to be a nice little buff. Oh, this is a really good turn right here, too. We don't have Big Bad Bosses active. We could get it. And then, of course, we have Giru, who is a support type unit for Seekers of the Dragon Ball characters. So this is going to be a good turn right here. There's his attack buff. We don't have Big Bad Bosses, so it's okay. We saw a number of attack stats here. 1.29. Not bad. Not bad for this Lord Slug. You know, he's not the greatest thing since sliced bread, but he's not awful either. I think he is pretty decent for, like, just an SSR of a TUR, right? You know, for the most part, I would say this probably wouldn't help normal players unless you're, like, a weirdo like me and you want to do, like, these weird challenge runs like the Namekian team versus Legendary Goku event. But, you know, you could hang on to this Slug right now because he is the best version of Lord Slug in the game. So, let's go ahead and take a look at our boy's details. Alright, so this is Rejuvenated Power Lord Slug. His leader skill is Extreme Physical Type Key 2 and 50% to stats, so complete fodder there. His leader skill is not too bad, being a lower level giant category leader after he Dokkan Awakens, right? But obviously the SSR version is not anything very impressive there. His super attack is the Darkness Eye Beam, which does supreme damage and greatly lowers defense, nothing too crazy there. His passive skill, Ruler of the Cosmos, gives him 70% attack and defense at the start of turn. Then he gets an additional 40% attack for 5 turns after receiving an attack. Now, that type of passive is very good. You know, that's one reason that LR Beerus and Whis can hit so hard. It's one reason my Tech Beerus can hit so hard. You know, you get the 2 attack stats sort of multiplying into each other, and they start doing a lot of damage. That's why both of these Lord Slugs can do decent enough damage, and when Big Bad Bosses is active, their defense is pretty solid as well. So, you know, these Slugs aren't bad even closing in on 2 years after release, right? His links are Namekians, Nightmare, Metamorphosis, Thirst for Conquest, and Big Bad Bosses. So having that Namekians link is huge. Like, you get a full Namekian team with all these dudes having this Namekian link, and that is just so much passive healing just from links, right? Because so if you have 2 characters next to each other with a Namekian link, you're healing 10% HP. That's not an insignificant number, right? So, like, I don't know, like, if you have 500k HP, they're going to heal, what, 50k just from links? Like, that's kind of a big deal. All right? Like that's going to be pretty solid there. And then, of course, he does have Big Bad Bosses, which is probably the best single link in the game. 25% attack, 25% defense. Very, very, very strong. His 12 key multiplier is 135%. A bit on the lower end, but I guess nothing too bad, right? I mean, he is just an SSR, right? And then he is on several different category teams here. He is on the Movie Boss category, which, of course, is very, very powerful, but, you know, this category could have been so much better if it was just movie villains instead, because then, like, some of these minions for some of these movies, you know, could be, like, really nice support type units and stuff like that. You know, even look at something like Broly and Paragus. If it was movie villains instead, Broly and Paragus would be on this category. So, I mean, that's something that I think maybe they could look into adjusting. They probably wouldn't, but that would be very cool if they did. Then he's also here on the Namekian category team. Obviously, this is the main reason I rainbowed him, because this category is just so small. And it's not great, but Nail and Piccolo are just like the 2 twin monsters added to this team, right? Then he's also here on the Seekers of the Dragon Ball team. Again, another reason that getting like some Dokkan Fest exclusive or LR level versions of Lord Slug and Demon King Piccolo would really help the game is you're buffing the Seekers of the Dragon Ball team and Namekian, 2 categories that do need buffs as much as they can. So those would be very wise things. Plus, honestly, like, look at how well received DOKKANFEST Kid Goku was, you know, by the Japanese community. They dropped LR Demon King Piccolo or something like that. Like, that's going to be a surefire #1 hit, I would have to imagine. So, I doubt Lord Slug would be, but Demon King Piccolo for sure. And then finally, he's on the Conquest of Terror category. This is STR Coolers category, which is good, but it will continue to get better with time, right? When we get like a Dokkan Fest exclusive Baby, Dokkan Fest exclusive Scouter Vegeta, Dokkan Festival exclusive Lord Slug, Demon King Piccolo, all those versions that probably will come will help. Even like a Final Form Frieza from Namek, I feel like could get a Dokkan Festival exclusive. Probably like Final Form Frieza that transforms into full power Frieza. I feel like that's something we could see. And like all of those would be big time buffs for this Conquest of Terror. Even maybe like LR Golden Frieza is something that is actually stunning. That like, you know, Golden Frieza like was first introduced shortly after Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle first was created, right? So like Dokkan was what, like January of 2015 it started, and then like Resurrection F was a couple months later. And we still don't have LR Golden Frieza, which is stunning because obviously, you know, that would be a very popular card. And I mean, LR, like, you look at how good like Tech Golden Frieza is, LR Golden Frieza would be sick nasty. So definitely looking forward to that when that eventually comes. But here was Lord Slug, decent enough unit. I wouldn't really recommend people rainbow this guy unless you're a weirdo like me. But hey, it is what it is. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time.